Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. It's Sunday night, approximately, I'm guessing 10:16, 10:17 p.m. And we're going to go on live. We're just going to do it tonight. And hi, guys. State of the Union. So I'm just going to jump on and do it. I actually was supposed to get on earlier today, but life happens. And yeah. So tonight we're just going to talk about some things that did happen. We're going to talk about my frame slider incident tonight, as well as actually being able to get them completely done. And also, we're going to talk about the frame sliders and then my blog. So, I hadn't written in my blog for a little bit of time, but I did decide to take hand, finger to keyboard, and I actually entered in a little blog today. So, we do that. And then finally, talk about a very good book that I have received in the mail. And so I'm super excited about that. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. It's Sunday night, a little chilly down here in DFW. The weather has taken a little turn. So it was like 80 something degrees yesterday, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was a pretty good weather. And and then the weather's going down for a couple days, and then I think it was going to be like high 70s, 80 again. So as they say in Texas, stick around, and we'll see what happens. So right now today I'm rocking the this is my LS2 helmet. Got a chance to ride. I did go for a quick little ride because I wanted to test out the frame sliders on my Gixxer. So I installed some frame sliders on the 2013 GSXR 600, and I actually did get to test them out, believe it or not. Yeah, I tested it out right here in the garage by being silly, doing something that I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing it, but I can tell you this: the frame sliders work. So, yeah, so I put the frame sliders on the Gixxer, and everything went good. Was able to get the fairings off, which was my big fear going into it, and I was able to get the fairings off. And then I was able to get the frame sliders installed. And when I did that, I also did an oil change, so that came out good. I went around because I thought the little washer that was sent in the kit, I was looking at that washer going, this is not correct. This is not correct. So then I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, AutoZone, and O'Reilly looking for a stainless steel washer. Did you know that the 2013 GSXR 600 takes an M14 washer? And no one had it. No one had that. And I was surprised by that. And I could not fathom how to get this washer. Needless to say, what I did do is I came back and I took the washer that was sent in the oil change kit, and I slapped that bad boy on, and lo and behold, it worked. Who knew? So it goes without saying that sometimes you just gotta trust the product, right? Just gotta trust the process. So then I also had to order some rivets, the push pins. So I was putting the fairing back on the right side. And I didn't. I took it all the way off except for one piece, one clip that was on. So I ended up putting the fairing on that side, and then there was like a little push pin, and I was trying to get the push pin underneath the wheel area, and it fell inside the plastic cover that's inside the inner part of the fairing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And then I went to put a push pin inside the top part, and I was like, oh, this isn't working. This isn't working. Needless to say, I ended up taking the push pin from the right hand side and putting it in that side and saying, I'll just get a push pin. So I went to O'Reilly's and other places looking for push pins, and they had everything: Honda, GM, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep. They had all push pins for all these, Nissan, right? But they did not have a push pin for Suzuki. So I ordered the push pins from Amazon, which was $11 for one push pin. But no, I got, I don't know, hundreds of them. So that's a good deal in case anybody needs any push pins and you're watching this. I'm your guy. So I got those push pins, and I did take the push pin this afternoon when it came, because there's a rear guard that you want to get on. I was able to select the right one, get that in. So that was good. The problem that I encountered was the fairing. There's a middle screw, a OEM screw, that was like bent when I took it out. And then I tried to put it back in. I took it out, tried to put it back in. And then I did something very stupid. I started tightening it up and I got it in there. And then I had to take it out. And I think that I possibly have stripped that little section, but I ordered the OEM fairing screw from Revzilla. So yeah. So in case you need a fairing screw for the middle part on a GSXR 600 or 750, you can order it through Revzilla. Don't do what I did. I'm not mechanically inclined, and I thought I was being smart because I found a screw that was just like it here in my house, and that wasn't a good decision. So I'm waiting for that OEM screw. Nevertheless, all of the fairing is on except for that one screw, and that was what I did today. So without further ado, let me show you the process. All right, so there you have on the right hand side or the left hand side, depending on how you're looking at this page. So that's the Shogun slider that's on the right hand side, and so yeah, it looks pretty good. I was actually surprised because I was really scared about taking the fairings off because I really didn't know. And I actually called somebody. I called Shay. Big shout out to Shay about that process, and he was able to tell me that yeah, it's just do this. You take that off, take those 4 off. And I watched Spunky Boy on YouTube, and that was pretty good. And I watched a couple of other ones as well as the oil change because I just want to get it right. There's nothing more worse than doing something, not knowing what you're doing, don't feel confident about it, and then doing something that's going to actually harm it. All right, so needless to say, I was able to do that. And like I said, the only thing that I think needs adjustment is having that last screw in there. And then also, so Ram Air is on the 2016 Gixxers, and the left-hand side where your clutch is at, I don't think that I could have possibly pulled that out, but I think it was not all the way completely. The rubber grommet part was not all the way in, and then I would have to take the complete fairing off on that side to get it pushed in. And I'm thinking that eventually that's probably what I would do, but for now it's okay. So yeah, so that's what that was the little hiccups that come with trying to do some DIY projects yourself. The oil change is good. Incidentally, my plan was I wanted to take the bike out. So with that little, it's like 1/16 of a wiggle there. It's not a lot because there's 1, 2, 3 other bolts that are attaching it. I could zip tie it, right? It's not gonna hurt anything. And so I said, okay, once I get all the fairings completely riveted, push pins and all connected and everything, then let me just take it out for a spin and see how it handles it because it seems like it's more cosmetic than anything. So I did take the bike out afterwards and I zoomed around for about 20 minutes and no problems whatsoever. I wanted to zoom around because this is my first oil change doing it myself on the Gixxer. Now, what I can tell you after the big hiccup, and I got a little soreness right here, and you can't see this, but I hurt my pinky. So I was taking my rear stand because I wanted to check the oil level after I came back in. You know, you let the bike sit for a few minutes so the oil's going to come back down and make sure it's between the 2 slots. I grabbed the rear stand. I put it in the rear stand. I came to the side. I looked down to see where the oil was at. Oil was looking good. I was like, I could probably put just an ounce or 2 in there. It's not going to make much of a difference. And as I'm getting back up, because I'm on this side, I'm down. So I kind of hold the fairing with this hand, and I got the rear stand with this hand. And I don't know what I did or how I did it, but whatever it was, the bike tumbled down on its side, which lets you know the fairing actually work. And I hurt my little pinky and hit me in the chest a little bit. And I was like, what just happened? It just happened. It all happened so fast. But the great thing about it is that I'm inside the garage. It's no scraping or anything like that. I'm not running. It just fell over to the side, and I'm right there to break the fall. But it landed right on the new frame slider, the Shogun frame slider, and all is good. Nothing happened. But that was my clumsiness. I does that sometime, and yeah, it is what it is. So I'm gonna show you right now the frame sliders that I put on, if I can get them up here. Let's see while we're doing that, because that way you know if you have a GSX R600, you can also purchase the frame sliders from pulling it up, Revzilla. Let's see if I can get this pull up. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. What is going on? There we go. Something was going on with my thing. Select your vehicle. And where's my vehicle? Right there. Shop for vehicle. Shogun frame slider is 2006, 2007. I'm looking for 2013. All right, let's see. Shogun frame slider. Bingo. There we go. All right, now that I have it up there, I'm going to switch over to the screen so you could see it. Let me get my life together here. All right. So on the right or the left-hand side, these are the frame sliders that I ordered. I ordered the no-cut frame sliders. And I have a 2013, and these will fit anywhere. So I have the no-cut version, and they were $129.99, whatever the case may be. And you can also get you look at the part number right there, see what you like, and then right there in this case, select your vehicle, and right there, select vehicle, and it fits. So it says right there, the green little Mechanics Rich. And it has a PDF that comes with it, or you could just download it. And they're pretty straightforward getting them on there. So in case you want to install your frame sliders yourself, and you don't have to send it to the store, because when I asked North Texas Superbikes, I was like, how much is it going to cost for you to install my frame slider? One person, I will give him credit. It's like, oh, I could do it. But he wanted to do something else. He wanted to raise the bike back up when it needed to be raised up. He's like, I do it all for $150. So that was cool. But when I asked them to install the frame slider, it was like $150. And I was like, for a half hour work? Because to them, it's easy. I was more scared of getting the fairings off. That was my big concern. Yeah. And a key point, if you do decide to do your frame sliders, is do not use the blue thread lock. Only use the blue thread lock on the top parts, but the part that goes into your engine frame, do not use the blue thread lock on that. So yeah. So that was me in a nutshell. And then the other event, I'm going to go back, that happened is, so I also went out to ride with my friend, and that's going to be the next, a great little segue to something else. We went out, we were riding. It's our first time out there, and it was very successful. And now I'm going to show you, it was a very successful ride. For our first ride, we rode around her neighborhood, and her new, I'm not going to say her bike, but on her new motorcycle. We went and practiced in the parking lot, and then we went to, what's that restaurant? Applebee's. We went to Applebee's. After Applebee's, we rode back and we called it a night. So that was the end of the motorcycle part of this. But at the same time, there's another little connection to the motorcycle portion of this, and that is what I'm going to show you right now. So I do write, bingo, on the left or right hand side of the screen, and depending on how you're looking, I actually do write a block, which I have not been writing for a while, but I did write today. Yeah, actually, I have a plan that I plan to submit on Mondays, and I was ahead of schedule. So I did sit down and I took finger to keyboard to pen a new blog. So this is my blog. I am Curtis Walker. Curtis is in the building, and you can see right there, it says visit profile. And the title of the blog is Positivity Matters in Life, Everyday Thoughts on Life, Love, Relationships, Religion, whatever comes to mind. The object is to continually grow as a person, and if some of my experiences or viewpoints aid others along the way, that is a good thing. The picture there is downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. because I used to live in North Carolina before I moved to Texas. And today's blog, I'm going to show it to you, is right there. Maintaining positivity and perseverance even when things go wrong. And I think there's something to that, because life doesn't always afford us that everything goes right. We don't always accomplish our dreams. We don't always figure it out when it needs to be figured out, or we do figure it out when it needs to be figured out. But the point is that there are always bumps and spills along the way. But maintaining a positive attitude and the ability to have perseverance. One of the things that I said in this new blog was that I am reminded of a song on an old holiday film. I think it's called Santa Claus is Coming to Town, without even giving out a promotion for Christmas. But the point being is there was a great song in there that says, if you put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. So I love that song. I still remember it because there is something about putting one foot in front of the other, in spite of the fact that, we slip and we fall. And I did make the comment in the blog that, the just man falleth 7 times, but the Lord lifts him up. And there's truth to that. That, even though you may fall, even though you may be weak, and even though things may not go your way, God is still there to help you along the way and to pick you back up and get you back on your feet and get you going back in a positive direction. But it takes perseverance, right? It takes the willingness to get back up and to do it, even though we might be feared, we might have some fears, we might have some apprehensions, might have trust issues. Taking that next step is the first step to accomplishing things. And that was a great thing that I learned last night too. My friend, should I say her name? Yeah, I can say her name, Bernice. Her attitude of positivity and perseverance to just keep moving forward with what she wants to accomplish. And so, and then the other part is that there is a friend that's sticking close to her brother. In this case, literally, sometimes it's the person that is right there next to you that fulfills that. And then the other part is that, 2 people are better than 1, so speaking, because the Bible makes it clear that if one fall, he has somebody to pick him up, or she has somebody to pick him up. And I think that is key as well in being positive and persevering through steps. But again, keep taking that step. If we fall, keep keeping that step. If we sin, keep taking that step back to God. You keep taking that step. Just keep taking a step. The dream doesn't come true. You just keep taking that step. Keep taking that step. Like me, I'm learning something, and it's just little steps, day upon day, day upon day. Just keep building days, and next thing you know, things come to fruition a lot faster than you think they are. All right, so that is that part of it, and we're moving quite along. So now you know my blog, which is Positivity Matters in Life. I hope that you go check it out and read it. I'm quite sure you find something different. So that's the motorcycle part. And again, I have the LS2 helmet right here on the left. I wrote this helmet today. It's the red and black, so it's nice. I like it. LS2 makes some good quality helmets, in spite what people may or may not know. I recommend them. I got this helmet from Amazon. I did buy that helmet on Amazon. And it has a pen lock on it. It has a pull down visor in it. I like it's pretty solid. I like that it's snappy, the colors, right? All right. So now let's get into some news, the news portion of the show. Let's get to the news. All right. So not a lot, well, because of the evening, because the news cycle is going to change. Oh, 2 words I would like to teach you while we're here. Priming and framing. Very, very important to talk about these 2 words. In fact, I'm going to pull it up when it comes, so you'll understand exactly priming and framing in media. All right, so framing is basically how the media presents information to emphasize certain aspects, while priming is how that presentation makes specific thoughts and ideas more accessible in a person's mind, influencing their judgments and evaluations. Framing also involves the setting or context of a particular frame or an issue, and priming is the process of making that frame readily available for use. When people make decisions about the issue, together they work to shape how audiences understand and react to news and media. And I think that's very important to understand that when it comes to news and media, is that the media frames a story in a certain light, and then they prime you to kind of tailor your mind to think. It's like, all right, for instance, when the media says that the people coming across the border are undocumented immigrants. They selectively leave out the fact that crossing the border is a violation of U.S. civil law and that it is a crime. But if you don't understand what the media is trying to do, they're framing the story in a certain fashion, and they're priming you to think along a certain way. And then when people say people deserve due process is a criminal aspect of our law. The civil law, which is the law that applies to immigration, that is a totally separate process. But if you didn't understand how the news frames it and primes you, then you're automatically going to overstep those, I would say, technicalities. And they're not necessarily technicalities, but breaking the law is breaking the law, right? It's not a technical aspect. You either did it or you did, or you did it or you didn't. So it's very important to understand framing and priming when it comes to those things. So I just want to give you that little tidbit. And let's get back to the news again. So there you have it right there. According to CNN, about 4 minutes ago at the time of this posting, that the Senate reached a deal to extend the government funding, which means that if that's the case, I haven't checked it out, that means that the government shutdown will be over. So that's a good thing. The Trump administration ordered to immediately undo full SNAP benefits. That's being reported by NPR. The FAA bars MD-11 flights after there was this jet crash, unfortunately. Trump was speaking about using some of the tariff revenue to give $2,000 to every American across the board. The BBC leaders have quit after backlash over the edit of Trump's January 6th speech, which means that Trump gave a speech and then that speech was edited, framed, and primed. And when you frame and prime something, generally you're leaving things out and you're trying to shape it in a certain light. Okay, so those are just the little news things right there going on. We're 21 minutes in. And I'm just going down. Let's see what else is going on. There's this thing. Winter storms could drop 8 inches of snow overnight Sunday. That's Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, talking about the AKA plan. You probably don't know. I'm not going to get into all of that already. Greg Abbott, the governor here in Texas, has launched his re-election bid. So you got that going on. And that's the news as far as like national news. And let's check out some Dallas-Fort Worth news real quick and see what's going on with the news today. It's good to be able to do this stuff live. There's a woman critically injured. That was a day ago. I did have seen a recent spat of shootings here in Dallas, Fort Worth area. People are talking about because of the shutdown, obviously, that is affecting travel. And there's been some flight cuts. Obviously, here at Dallas, dozens of flights have been canceled. That was news that was reported yesterday. Anything else going on here? Not a lot going on. So that pretty much covers the news portion of our little chat tonight. So moving on from the news, we can talk now about the last thing. So I was very fortunate. I was reading something or watching something on Facebook, I believe it was. And there was a book. I caught it. It caught my attention. There was a genealogy in there and it looked good. So I ordered it and it came. So right here, this is Rose's book of Bible charts, maps, and timelines. And for those that do not know, on Wednesday night, I think approximately 7 p.m., I will be doing a little Bible study. And I think this week's Bible study will probably be just a filler, a beginning, getting into it. We're going to talk about the Bible, the books of the Bible, how it came to be, depending how far we go into that talk. So, that's going to be Wednesday night, 7 p.m., Wednesday night, 7 p.m., Wednesday night at 7 p.m., little Bible study, just chatting. If there's anything I can help, then let me know. Join in the chat because I can see your comments. I'm connected to Facebook and YouTube through Switcher Studio. So getting back to this is Rose's book, of Bible charts, maps, and timelines. I think this is actually pretty cool. And just by perusing it, the first thing you do when you open it, you see a Bible timeline, gives you Bible history, right next running along with world history and Middle East history. That's pretty cool. I like charts and stuff like that. But the one that actually caused me to buy this was the genealogy of Jesus. So if you take the four books of the New Testament, we'll call it synoptic gospel, synopsis of the Gospels, and then you can use that when it comes to the lineage of Jesus. So here it gives you this really, really cool map of the genealogy of Jesus, and it just goes all the way back into Genesis and brings it all the way forward into Luke and Matthew, where the two genealogies are. It also has this little section right there, 100 prophecies fulfilled by Jesus. If there was a book that I could recommend to you on Bible prophecies in connection with Jesus, that would be Evidence That Demands a Verdict by Josh McDowell. Can't go wrong with that one. Yeah. If there's a book that I could recommend to you on eschatology, that would be Dwight J. Pentecost, Things to Come. If there is a book on anything on creationism, I would tell you the Bible Institute. I would tell you Ken Ham. Yeah, those are things right there. If there was on astrology, of course, you may think that astrology is something really, really new or something, but I would tell you that it's not. It is a corruption of the Hebrew term Mazareth, which is actually in the Bible in Job. So, yeah, there's a lot of information that's out there for you to glean, to understand, and get a better understanding of not only the Bible, but as history as it connects to the Bible. Then there's a section of Jesus' life and ministry, so that's actually pretty cool. Check out this picture right here. That's nice. I think that's pretty cool. That was the love chapter. There's a section that it talks about. It actually goes into Christianity, cults, and religion, and it kind of gives you a little synopsis of a lot of different religions, from Sikhism to Buddhism, Hinduism, Nation of Islam, Baha'i Faith, Judaism, the Kabbalah, Islam, comparing Sunni and Shiite. So that's actually pretty good. Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormonism, Seventh-day Adventists, understanding the difference of two. And then it also gives you this right here. I think it's pretty cool. All the journeys of Paul. So that's going to be great. So this is going to make a great little tool that we're going to be using on our Wednesday night Bible studies. I think Wednesday night is actually, Wednesday is going to be Wednesday night or Tuesday night? Ooh, that is a good question. I think it's Wednesday night, but it could be Tuesday night. So I think that's actually pretty good to have a little chat on the Bible study. And yeah, so that's pretty much going to be it for tonight. Just jump back on. Hope that you enjoyed our little conversation. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to put back up so you can again see what I really, when we get back to the motorcycle stuff. So again, that is my 2013 GSX-R 600. It has approximately 18,500 miles on it. I bought it, I don't know, February, March. And yeah. And again, if you want to do your own oil change, you can do a DIY. You can order that kit that's located on, that's actually sold on Amazon. It's also, or you could try to go to a dealership or like a Ride Now Sports Center that sells motorcycles and they might have it. Or you could go to Kawasaki Center or something like that. They might have it. Or you can just look it up in the Kawasaki and they will direct you to a dealer that actually sells it. And I'm pretty sure it's the same whether you're a Yamaha or a Honda or a Aprilia, whatever your motorcycle is to do. I think that that's something that's an easy thing to do. For me, it was once you build the courage, instead of spending $200 going to the dealer to basically open up the oil cap, let the oil flow out, take out the oil filter, let that oil flow out, replace your oil filter, put some oil in it, put a little oil around the rim of your oil filter, screw that in, hand tight, take your oil filter flange, whatever, get that on there. Before you done that, you should have put your drain oil plug cap with the new washer, put that on there, open up your oil reservoir, if you have a dipstick or not, then take your new oil, pour it in there, start up your bike, let it run, let the oil circulate through the system, let the bike sit again so the oil level rises back to this level, and then look at, there's like two little lines that the oil should be in between those two lines, and you are good to go. Me gusta cambiar la siete. So you're good to go after that. And as far as the frame sliders are, take off just specifically for the 2013 GSX-R 600, take off your fairings on your left side, remove your engine mount, put your fairing in, tighten that back up to spec. In my case, it's 16.5 pounds, or was it 50 pounds per square inch. put your fairing back on your left-hand side, go to the right-hand side, take your fairing off, take out your engine mounts, let your engine mounts, slap that frame slider on there, torque your engine mount back to spec, put those fairings back on there, put all your rivets back in it, and you're good to go. And that was my process. So, all right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. Appreciate you guys supporting me, watching in. If you have anything that you would like for me to talk about, please let me know. I prefer to do that on The Vibe, whereas State of the Nation, this is just a little quick. We talk about motorcycle or motorcycle things related, right? Talk about the news, and then we talk about something Christian related, biblical related, Jesus related, God related, and then we're out of here. Hope that you guys enjoyed this little session. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great work week. God be with you all, and go in peace. That is all I got, guys.